Ransomware insurance really isn't about paying hackers. It's about everything around the ransom. The investigators, the lawyers, the recovery team, the days you're down and not making money. That's where most of the cost lives, and it's where many policies come up short. Hi, I'm Gordon Coyle, and for over 40 years I've been helping business owners navigate the complex world of commercial insurance, and I've seen every problem and costly mistake you can imagine. And here I share insider strategies and real-world solutions that protect your business and save you money. So let's talk about what ransomware coverage actually is. Most of the time it sits inside a broader cyber policy, and people assume that it's just a pot of money to pay a ransom if bad guys lock you out of your systems. In reality, ransom is just one line item. Proper coverage brings in a forensic team to figure out what happened, a breach coach attorney to manage the notification and regulatory steps, an incident response team to contain and eradicate the threat, negotiators if you're talking to attackers, public relations people if customers are involved, and restoration vendors to get you back on your feet. The question is, does your policy fund all of that, or are you writing a check when it matters most? If you've never lived through one of these events, here's the rhythm. Attackers get in, usually with a phishing email or an unpatched system vulnerability. They move quietly, map your environment, sometimes they'll steal data, and then they'll pull the fire alarm by encrypting your systems. And suddenly your team can't log in, orders aren't moving, and the countdown clock is flashing. You're making hundreds of decisions in a few hours. Who do we call? Do we shut down? Do we pay? Who do we have to notify? Can we restore our backups? How long will we be down? Every one of these decisions has a cost attached to it, and the meter starts running immediately. Here's the bottom line. The big dollar items in a ransomware event are often the things buyers don't connect to ransomware coverage. Forensics is expensive because it has to be defensible. Preserving evidence, documenting what data was touched, proving contamination, and so forth. Incident response and legal counsel are your lifeline. They coordinate the playbook, handle negotiations, meet regulatory deadlines, and keep you from making irreversible mistakes. Notification and credit monitoring can explode in costs if you have a large customer base. Business interruption is the silent killer. Every day you're down is lost revenue while all your payroll and overhead costs keep ticking up. Finally, system restoration is real engineering work, rebuilding servers, cleansing the endpoints, validating integrity, hardening access. If your policy only focuses on the ransom, you're bringing a garden hose to a building fire. What does that mean for you? Coverage design has to mirror the real costs of a real event. We start with a simple question. If your core systems were dark for a week, how much revenue would you lose? That number informs your business interruption limit. Next, how much identifiable data do you store and where is it stored? That points us to the notification and monitoring exposure. What's your recovery capability? Are backups segregated and tested, or just we think we're good? That affects restoration costs and the leverage you have for negotiations. Then we look at sublimits. This is where many policies fail. You might see a decent overall cyber limit, but tiny buckets for forensics or incident response that evaporate on day 3. Co-insurance clauses, panel-only vendor restrictions, or sanctions language can also change how usable your coverage is when you're under pressure. Let me give you a real example. A mid-sized B2B firm came to us after getting hit. Their ransom policy did cover the ransom, but forensics was capped at $50,000 and the actual forensics bill hit $150,000. That's $100,000 out of pocket before we even talk about response costs. Incident response and legal added another $80,000, also outside their coverage limits. Meanwhile, they lost meaningful revenue during a multi-day outage, and the business interruption language in their policy didn't trigger the way the event unfolded. The ransom wasn't the budget buster, the ancillary costs were. We reworked their program to add robust incident response, lift the forensic sub-limit, and put in a meaningful business interruption limit with clearer triggers. Today, if lightning strikes twice, and we hope it doesn't, the coverage matches the likely bill. There are nuances you should know. Sanctions matter. If a threat actor or wallet is on the sanctions list, paying a ransom may not be legal. Good policies include guidance on that and cover the other steps, even if paying isn't an option. Backups are critical, but don't fall for the myth that we have backups, so we must be fine. You still need forensics to prove what happened and it's safe to restore. And you'll feel some period of downtime. Another nuance is vendor panels. Many insurance companies require you to use approved forensic and legal teams. And that's not a bad thing. Those teams are experienced and pre-vetted, but you need to know that in advance. If you insist on a non-panel firm, Clarify reimbursement rules so you're not arguing about those bills when the house is on fire. So, how do we think differently at the Coyle Group? We start with your risk, not your brochure. We map your likely costs across the timeline of an event. Then we buy to that map. We pressure test the fine print. Are forensics and incident response separate buckets, or are they shared? Are there hourly caps that don't reflect reality? Does business interruption kick in when your systems are functionally down, not just physically destroyed? Do you have coverage for notification and credit monitoring at the scale your customer base demands? And we strip away the guesswork and show you the coverage you actually rely on. If you're wondering whether your current policy is right, here's a quick gut check. If your systems went dark tomorrow, do you know who you're calling first? And will your policy pay for them? Do you know your business interruption limit and waiting period? Do you know your pre-event or sub-limits for forensics and incident response? If any of those answers are fuzzy, that's a red flag. Because in a real event, fuzzy equals expensive. The question is not, will my policy pay a ransom? The question is, will my policy fund the team, the time, and the tools to get me back to normal without surprising invoices? That's the mindset shift that saves companies real money. If you want to dig deeper, I've got a full hub of cyber insurance on my website where you can unpack these elements and related coverages in plain English. And if you want help pressure testing your policy against a real cost map, reach out and let's talk about your options. We'll show you exactly where you're strong and where you're exposed and how to fix it before you need it.